Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome into the channel. My name is Brent. Today's video, we're going to go ahead and go over my portfolio update. I completely sold out of everything, of course, for week 14 of 2026. And this is an April Fool's joke. I did not actually sell out of everything, but we did sell out of a few positions or one position. So in today's video, we're going to go ahead and cover our week 14 market update, go over what exactly kicked off the move to the upside, which, you may know. We're going to go ahead and cover some income arriving into our Robinhood portfolio. So we have been on the Robinhood platform for under a week now, but we do have some brand new dividends rolling into the account. So we'll be able to kind of digest and see how it all works within this platform that we are now living and working and kind of doing everything out of here on Robinhood. We'll go ahead and cover our sells and buys that we did on Tuesday, and then go over our updated dividend portfolio and fully updated dividend income going for the remainder of 2026, as well as like one tiny little plan that I'm doing here in April as well. So with that said, if you guys are looking at living out of your own brokerage account, either at Fidelity, Robinhood, definitely subscribe, tune in, smash that thumbs up, as we're going to continue to make content around how it flows and how it goes. So check out the pinned comment down below to join the Discord server, ask any questions in there, or drop a comment down below, and let's get into the market update. So on Tuesday, there was two things that took place. One really early pre-market. Essentially, President Trump came out saying, hey, we're going to be backing out of the strait. If you guys want to go get your oil, then go get your oil. You'll have to learn how to fight for yourself. And essentially, you guys didn't come out and help us do what we were doing preemptively, and the hard part's done, but go get your own oil, right? And apparently that really caused the markets to skyrocket their pre-market hours. You can see on Monday, we had hit the lowest lows of 2026 here on SPY, right around 629 after hours, or pre-market hours. That notification came out on Truth Social, and boom, the market gained a 0.10% pop on the SPY, and they continue to kind of drift throughout the morning. And then once again, a little bit later, the Iranian president came out and said, hey, we have the ability to continue go on for the next 3 to 6 months, but we would like to seek some sort of maybe a plan or deal that would guarantee that this type of conflict would not be repeated in the end, right? They were already doing a deal in the past, and while they were doing some negotiations, they were bombed preemptively. Now it's just been chaotic out there in the strait. So that news alone, again, that put on a whole other additional 0.10%, and then has continued to drift higher and higher. And we did hit a bit of a wall right around 650. As I posted in my Discord server, we are going to definitely hit a wall. Let me see if I have the exact number here that I posted. But I said we have a hard cap right around $659.89. It's kind of the hard cap. And it's going to be really hard to break any sort of point beyond here until we have more confirmations in place of a deal, of a ceasefire, that nothing's going to continue to escalate from this point on. No one else is going to be joining in on the fight, that the strait's going to be opening, the oil prices are going to be coming down, that there's not going to be any sort of long-term complications that's going to arise from this point on. And then we might break to the upside and kind of move on from here. But until we really cross and break above that 659 point, we're just not going to have any sort of recovery beyond kind of just bouncing around, right? We're just in that boom, we hit the bottom, we kind of bounce a bit, market's kind of digesting data. Okay, so that is the quick market update. In terms of income, yes, we are getting our very first dividends rolling into the account. So I did get my very first interest payment today. I've only been on the platform since last Thursday, so Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, right? Just kind of the 4 active days plus the weekend. So essentially 6 days over on Robinhood. But in those 6 days, the cash within my portfolio or the account has generated interest of $6.56. Not a lot, but hey, it's better than nothing. Also, we're going to be receiving our very first dividends over on the Robinhood platform. Based on the shares that we have 4,100.5731 shares of T-SPY. Based on the amount here, I do like that they include the actual amount that we're being paid out, which is 0.2807. That's going to give us a whopping $1,150.91 in paid out dividends. And that was all processed and had the ex dividend yesterday. It is pending still. It hasn't hit my account yet. So when it does hit the account, I'm sure by the end of the week, going forward, we'll see how we're going to actively use it. Right now, we are working to pay down our mortgage. It is the 1st of April 2026, as well as we have some, paying down credit card from the prior month and have the car payment coming up. But besides that, any cash that's remaining left over will begin digesting into the market, especially if the market does not break through and pulls back to do some sort of retesting, then it'll have some more opportunities. So that is our income update. In terms of our buys and sells, I completely sold out of my QQQI. So as I said previously, my QQQI position was just a temporary position. I didn't want to be out of the market just because we had already been beat down so much that if you are not in the market, you can potentially miss out. So all I did here was I saw that there was some potential that we would have a little bit of a recovery, and I really wanted to move back into my original position. So I completely liquidated out of my QQQI position at $48.91. It filled. I was able to liquidate it out immediately right after I bought back into my TDAC position. Plus, I added additional equity from my portfolio or from the cash that I had sitting in my account, because recently I made a video. I got my bonus from Robinhood. I got a little over $6,000 of just cash deposited in my account for just transferring from Fidelity over to Robinhood. So I'm beginning to put that to work, especially when the market is still down. We may have found the bottom, we may not have found the bottom, but it's just an opportunity to just buy more shares. We picked up 3,664 shares of TDAC. This is bringing my total amount of shares in this position to a new all-time high within that specific holding. Now, in terms of our number 4, our updated dividend portfolio and updated dividend income, let's hop over to the dividend portfolio. Right now, we are still holding the majority of our positions here: BTCI, IAUI, IWMI. Those are kind of like the backbone, early on positions. Now, my TDAC and T-SPY and IWMI are kind of like the bread and butter of the holdings here. And since the market top, everything's kind of pulled back a bit. So I'm not too worried about the total return here. Right, market has pulled back. These have continued to pay out dividends during this time frame, and with time, just given some time, they will recover. And I'm only down a smidge on paper while they have been paying out dividends, and I haven't recorded the amount of dividends that I've actually received from SPY or QQQI back in 2025 here on the spreadsheet. So my actual net capital appreciation or just kind of total return is probably still positive, very much positive. I don't have that data on me at the moment. But yeah, so let's go ahead and continue here with the journal update as well as the dividend income. So here, 3/31/2026, I completely sold out of my 1,735 shares of QQQI. This dropped my income from 1,056 that I was receiving to 0, right? Boom, we just removed that income. We removed those holdings. That dropped my monthly income from $4,145 to $3,088, right? I lost that $1,056. My yearly income had dropped by $12,677.30. But I went ahead and took the equity from that position plus some additional capital that I had in the account, and I rolled it into TDAC. I had originally 245 shares that I had pre-purchased within last week, and then some shares that I would also, I bought in the past as well. And I bought my additional 3,664 shares, bringing up our total shares to a new high of 3,909. Our past monthly income was $85.75. It increased to now $1,368.15. That is a monthly difference of $1,282.40. That would be really nice if I could do that every single week. Just boom, increase my monthly income by $1,000. Now, on a yearly basis, you can see here our new yearly basis has broke above 50,000. based off our current dividend estimates, we should receive roughly $50,054.24. But again, these dividends, they do change on a month-to-month basis, right? We did get paid out from T-SPY. Here I have 0.3 as my estimated dividend payout. But if we take a look here at the screenshot, this is 0.28. So whereas it says here 0.3, it's instead 0.28. And the difference there is very minimal. You can kind of see here, it's what, like, let's see here, 148 and 230. So essentially $80 difference. So it's $80 difference on a monthly basis over the course of a year. That's around like $960-ish difference. It is going to play a difference, but you know, with the market recovery, the dividends, the capital, like the option premium will probably move back up into the normal 0.3s, and right. So I'm not too worried about that here in the short term. There's going to be volatility for sure as markets do it, but we have other income sources, right? This is our dividend portfolio, and it is used to live from and kind of pay down our expenses, our credit card bill, our mortgages, our car payments. But I also have other sources of income from my affiliates, referrals. I generated some income from an old affiliate when I was making Minecraft tutorial videos on another channel, and I received some capital from there. And my other channel still monetized. This channel is getting really close to being monetized. And I have my real estate business as well that's been funneling money into here. Anytime that the market's been dipping, I've just been sending more capital this way to buy the dip. So I'm not too worried that, you know, we're just continuing to build out this portfolio into a money generating machine. So we did increase our total yearly income by $15,388.80 just by swapping from QQQI to TDAC. We will be doing a video in the future going over some of the covered call ETFs that track the similar, say SPY, for example, or QQQ, which is better, the T-SPY, the SPY-I, or the I-SPY, right? Those are some of the more familiar covered call ETFs that follow along with the S&P 500 SPY. But yeah, we'll maybe do a more deep, thorough video kind of going into that. But let me know down in the comment section below. Okay, so I believe that is it. We have definitely continued to add more capital into the markets. If we head over to now Robinhood, we can see here on the day, on the week, right? I made a video not too long ago when we fully transferred into Robinhood. Our portfolio was sitting right around $313,000. You can see here we have definitely put on some capital, well, not capital gains, but we've definitely had some recovery since that point. Since making that video, we're sitting at 323,000 of capital within this portfolio. Now, I still do have some cash sitting in the account. I have my bonus. I also, you know, deposited a large amount from my, you know, direct deposit to kind of funnel capital into here to buy the dip. So not all of this is going to be used to buy the dip. I'm still paying down my credit card over at Fidelity for March. I still have my mortgage payment that's going to be withdrawn out of here. I have some capital that I'm saving on the side for the car withdrawal as well. But then I'm going to go ahead and begin getting all of this invested here over the next few either days or weeks. And then we also got a notification from Robinhood that there's a cheap margin or rate. I think we got like a 0.5% discount on margin. Plus we get $1,000 of margin completely for free. So I may end up using a bit of that just to kind of begin using it just a smidge. And if the market does pull back, say this isn't the bottom, it does begin to pull back, maybe I'll begin to invest a little bit more with margin, but not too heavy, right? And then in terms of future plans, one of my biggest plans right now is going into transferring my IRA, Roth IRA over from Fidelity over into Robinhood. I'm going to get a 2% bonus. So you can see here that's active until April 30th. So right now I am working to move my Roth 401k from my Empower broker for my old work plan over into my Roth IRA at Fidelity. That way it's able to kind of sit there and I'll have cash value added to that. Then I could roll it from that Roth IRA over into Robinhood, and then I should get a very nice 2% bonus on top of whatever's remaining after that. So that's kind of the plan going forward. I'm hoping that I can achieve that by the end of April, which, it hopefully should be manageable, but we'll see how it goes. At least I'll be able to transfer the stuff from Fidelity at least. I'm working on my Roth 401k transfer, but there's some paperwork that has to be done and getting signatures and stuff. I have to go and get it notarized, and there's a little bit more work to be done on that end versus just kind of clicking a couple buttons and transferring from Fidelity to Robinhood in a few days. So we'll see how it all plays out. So that is it for today's video, guys. Just a quick market update over what happened on Tuesday. We did completely side out of our QQQI and move into TDAC. We are getting some dividends rolling into our Robinhood account. Our dividend portfolio and dividend income has grown. We're moving to some new all-time highs in terms of shares and total dividend payout. And we have some plans going into April 2026, which I'm hoping to, manifest, right, going forward. So that is going to be it for today's video. If you guys have any comments or questions, whether it's about this, anything covered in today's video or anything you'd like to see, definitely drop a comment down below. Also subscribe if you guys are looking forward to living out of your brokerage account, whether it's Fidelity, Robinhood, as we'll be covering how it goes, the comparisons between what I like, what I don't like, and kind of go from there. That is going to be it from me. So I do appreciate everyone tuning in and hanging out. Be sure to go down below, smash that thumbs up, subscribe, check out the link in the pinned comment down below to join the Discord server, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.